Good day, everybody. We'll get started in just a moment. So, you know what to do when you get on here. Take the time to share, share, share. As you get on here, that's what I am doing. So, of course, persons aren't getting their notifications. So, we need to make sure that everyone knows what's going on in this country, and and they are blocking that. So, we have to make sure that the message gets out. Okay. So let's take a time to share this. So you can do your at highlight and at followers to make sure you participate in getting this out. That will get to your followers. Do at highlight and at followers if you know how to do that. You can also tag persons right directly in here or go in your WhatsApp groups or Messenger and share, share, right? And so that's how we'll get it out there. So I'm going to take just a minute to share this. And then we're going to have a serious conversation about the level of crime in our country. We're also going to talk about BC a little bit, etc. But we're going to have a serious conversation about the trust of the police force in this country. Should we be trusting the police force at this time? And that's a serious conversation. So we did not believe the police force after they said those people were coming and they didn't come. And so we called those people all the way in the UK to see what they had to say. And it was interesting. It was an interesting conversation. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just stay tuned and we'll be with you very, very, very shortly. Just take time and share this. Just take time and share this, and we'll get started in just a moment. We're going to start the countdown. We're not going to do the full countdown, so ignore the amount of time you say. We'll just share, and we'll be right with you.
Of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Now I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country, ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride it! Come on! We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country, ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. them have a sense of pride. Or go selling too. Cause they're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling
Press release was issued today explaining that there will be no more public statements on the Voice Notes investigation. Before the statement was issued on July 8, 2024, Police Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings confirmed to media that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will remain transparent and will keep the public in the loop.
As indicated, Commissioner has indicated his commitment to the investigations being transparent. He indicated that there are transfers that are going to be imminent. In his discourse, he also indicated that no one is above the law. And he reiterated the fact that police officers in the past have been brought before the courts. However, our investigations must be thorough and they must be fair.
Despite that commitment of transparency into the investigation, just 7 weeks after several voice notes circulated with the purported voices of Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, alleged ex-Fox Hill gang leader now deceased Michael Fox Jr., and a notable attorney, police announced to the media in a statement that all updates into the investigation will cease until it's concluded. But let's backtrack. On July 5, 2024, the Commissioner of Police addressed the public in a statement writing, open quote, "The Royal Bahamas Police Force remains dedicated to transparency, accountability, and the trust placed in us by the Bahamian people. We will continue to provide updates as the investigation progresses and ensure appropriate actions are taken based on the findings," close quote. Now, in the latest release this morning by the Public Affairs and Communications Department attached to the RBPF, it read, open quote, "It is announced for general public information that upon advice and in order not to compromise the investigation into the voice notes with regard to the former head of the Criminal Investigations Department, there will be no further public statements about the investigation until the investigation is complete, except to confirm from time to time that the investigation is still ongoing," close quote. During the press briefing last month, reporters raised questions to the top cop regarding the public trusting that the RBPF will carry out a fair and transparent investigation. Here was his response.
So I want the Bahamian people to know that your Royal Bahamas Police Force will continue to live by its motto, courage, loyalty, courage, and integrity. Will continue to do just that. And that this senior team, and trickle right down to the youngest constable within the job, we will continue to sound that.
Now, authorities told media that they will allow the independent body to report their own conclusions once on the grounds in New Providence.
As I indicated in my brief remarks, that we will bring in our international partner. That's independent from the police investigation as well, and they will report their findings.
Last week, senior members of the National Crime Agency from the United Kingdom were scheduled to make landfall to oversee the investigation being carried out by the Security and Intelligence Branch, but did not. Fernanda previously told media the importance of this independent body, noting it will prove to citizens how serious law enforcement is taking the allegations.
There's the independent body. The facts will be there. The information, the facts will be there. And the independent body, they will view the case. They will view the case. That's trust right there. We're bringing in outsiders. I don't want to compromise the investigation. I know that the Bahamian people are eager for results or for information. That will only hamper the investigation. So please, let's try. If we want transparency in that, let's do it right.
Amid the statement from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Ministry of National Security released a statement from the Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, where he wrote, "I have read the statement issued by the Commissioner of Police concerning the investigation of voice notes being conducted by the Security and Intelligence Branch of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. In line with the clear articulation of the proper function of the executive government in matters of this nature, I defer the judgment of the Royal Bahamas Police Force in exercising their constitutional function. I reiterate my confidence in the Security and Intelligence Branch, ability, competence, and professionalism to conduct this investigation with probity and expedition," close quote. Despite police announcing there will be no more public statements regarding this investigation, here's what Fernanda did previously leave citizens with.
Trust me, you can trust this team. You see sits here. The integrity, as I said, my motto.
Eyewitness News made numerous attempts to contact senior police officials on a new arrival date and the reason of the delay. However, authorities remained tight-lipped. Despite the statement noting there will no longer be an update, the Commissioner of Police did add that the public is assured that the investigation is proceeding with integrity and dispatch. For now, I'm Linton Ritchie Jr., sending it back to the desk, Janea.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's always so good to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, the 25th of August, 2024. It's a Sunday, and you're going to spend your Sunday evening with me learning about exactly what's going on in this country. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting live from all of our social media platforms. from Facebook, Lincoln Bain, Coalition of Independence, and Bahamian Evolution from YouTube, the same sites, and also from the Lincoln Bain's LinkedIn and Instagram pages that you can join us on. We'll start broadcasting on Twitter again next week. And so all of those are broadcasting right now. We are live. So there are about 1,413 of you on here right now. So please share. Let's get this out to the rest of the Bahamas. Make sure that everyone knows what is going on. So thank you so much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a serious talk today about the state of crime in this country, especially with the murders that you just see happening. There's like a scandal a week in this country. We can't get a break from scandals under this present administration. So we got to do something. We got to do something. And now we have a police force that the people don't trust. We have a police force that the people cannot trust. And when I say the police force, I'm not talking about the regular constables, the lower level officers, and the middle management, etc. I'm talking about the leadership of this police force. The leadership of this police force should not and cannot be trusted. And I'll tell you why that is my opinion as we go on. And again, we'll open the phone lines for you to be able to call and put your piece in there. Because if the people can't trust the police force, the ones tasked with holding the country together, we don't really have a city. And that's concerning. That's concerning. And so we have to fix that, and we have to discuss this today. First and foremost, before we get to this, I just wanted you to know that for you just tuning in, I started with a prelude to all of this. We didn't trust the Commissioner of Police and what he had to say about the National Crime Agency, so we called them for ourselves. Yes, we called them for ourselves. All right, and we called them for ourselves, and we had a conversation with them to see exactly what's going on. All right. And because we wanted to know, one, why, if you say they're coming, why didn't they come? You announced that they were coming. Two, why wasn't Michael Johnson arrested? Why wasn't Bajon Ferguson arrested? And see, arrest, it could just be for question, And so, it doesn't mean that you're guilty of something. It just means that you have some questions the police want to ask you, and they want to ask you on the caution. And so, that should have happened already. Well, what's so amazing is that we have just reached and got an announcement from the government that tomorrow they're going to be charging some persons before the court for murder, a heinous murder that happened last week, Sunday. If the murder happened last week, Sunday, you're putting someone before the courts this Sunday, so in about a week, because some videos and texts and etc. got out there, you're able to close a whole investigation and have persons before the court for a murder, a more complex kind of crime, for a murder in 1 week. Good job to the police officers, by the way. But this 2 months since video recordings, 8 weeks since video recordings, sorry, not video, audio recordings of Michael Johnson and BJ and the criminals were released, and it's alleged them on there. And you can't even question Michael Johnson yet? You've not got anywhere with this? What is your investigation if you haven't even arrested them yet? It's nonsensical. It makes no sense. And you cannot believe them. But we'll get to all that in a minute. I'll start off by talking about the Commissioner of Police. For those of you who might not know, the Commissioner of Police cannot be trusted because we must avoid corruption and the appearance of corruption. both of them. We must avoid them. It is the commissioner who was placed there. He's a friend of the prime minister, and he was placed there by the prime minister. And he was paid by the prime minister. So again, the payment he received was not a court-ordered payment. The case never went to trial. The commissioner was suing the police force because they removed him and tried to give them kind of dishonorable duties, or duties that weren't fitting of their rank. And so that might never have won in court. It didn't have its day in court. But what they did was they decided to say, hey, see what happened to y'all? Okay, we can sue y'all. Y'all sue the police force, and then we can just give you some money. We just settle. So that's how it looks. And so that's what happened. And then they said, we can't tell you how much money was given to the commissioner of police. And only in this country, where the law doesn't matter, could something like that happen. In any other country, they would have tore this place down. And so they gave probably millions of dollars to the commissioner. And when you have these kinds of payouts, someone else could have gotten a cut of that. They could have said, listen, we want to funnel some money to PLP. We could use your settlement as a venue to do that. Think about it. We could give you this $2 million, but only $1 million for you, the other $1 million for the party and the other people. We don't know if that happened, and we should not have to be guessing if that happened, because there should be full accountability. Full accountability. But that's not happening under this administration. They continuously break the law. They continue to break the law, and there's no consequence for them breaking the law, because we also have a leader of the opposition who will not do his job that we are paying him for, and actually dealing with these people the way we should be dealing with them. So let me see something. Maybe that's beyond my intelligence. Let me just see what artificial intelligence has to say about this whole thing. Because they said they want to keep it secret for whatever reason. But you can't keep the income of a public servant secret. A public officer, that's against the law. So what the government did in not disclosing that was actually against the law. And it would be against the law if he doesn't disclose his income from the government. You don't believe me? He's a public servant. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Hey there, I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in and help?
Does the commissioner of police in the Bahamas have to disclose their income and assets every year, according to law?
In the Bahamas, senior public officials, including the Commissioner of Police, are generally required to declare their assets and income annually. This requirement is part of the Public Disclosure Act, which mandates that public officials disclose their financial interests to ensure transparency and prevent corruption. However, these declarations are usually submitted to the Public Disclosure Commission and are not automatically made public unless there is a legal or investigative need to do so.
So if the commissioner of police receives an income from a settlement from the government because he sued the government, would that income from that settlement have to be declared?
Yes. If the Commissioner of Police receives an income from a settlement with the government, that income would generally need to be declared under the Public Disclosure Act. The law requires public officials to disclose all sources of income, including settlements, to ensure transparency and prevent any potential conflicts of interest. This would be included in the annual disclosure of assets and income that the commissioner is required to.
Wow. So you didn't hear it from me. You heard it from AI. Um, so they want to keep that secret, but that's something that he would have to declare. Maybe the opposition should sue in order to get that information. And because it's a part of a lawsuit dealing with the government called judicial review, then there would be no cost involved because this is a matter of public interest. Costs would go to the cause. But of course, Michael Pintar doesn't know what to do other than what he is instructed by the persons who are paying him, and he's failing at his job. So let's just take a sec before we go to our conversation with the National Crime Agency. Let's just take a sec to see about this commissioner and him having to disclose. Let's just look at the act. All right, let me pull up this act for you. Let's just look at the act and find out, what the situation is with that. Let me see if I have this here. Yeah, let's go to the act and see if it is okay for this commissioner of police to not disclose. What does the act have to say about that? What does the act have to say about that? Hold on, wait. Where did our pages go? Did that get lost? Okay, we just pull it back up. All right, what does the act have to say about that? Because if you're supposed to disclose and you didn't, that means you're breaking the law. And that means that there's a punishment for you breaking the law. And there's an actual punishment. And what the punishment is it will blow your mind because they don't ever focus on the punishment for not disclosing. And so the government could get away with doing it, but he will not be able to get away with doing it. Why? Because one, there's a fine, a hefty fine, and two, everything that you did not disclose can be confiscated to the government, to the people. And so if he didn't disclose what his settlement was, whatever he didn't disclose should have been confiscated. That means all of the money that he got should be confiscated. And so did that happen? Is that going to happen? No, not as long as we have this particular prime minister and this particular leader of the opposition in place. All right. So let's go to that. Let's just go to this quick, and then I'm going to go to this conversation I have with the national agency. So where is it? Okay, here we go. All right, so what you're seeing now is the Public Disclosure Act. All right, the Public Disclosure Act. And so the commissioner is supposed to and all public servants, I don't just say the commissioner, is supposed to, as far as I know, based on what I'm reading in here, and what you heard from AI, they're supposed to disclose. But I want to show you something interesting. This is why I came to this. All right. If anyone fails to do a declaration, watch this. Any person who fails to furnish the commission with a declaration which he is required to furnish in accordance with this act, or the commission examines a declaration and any related information or documents, or conducts an inquiry into such declaration or into a complaint made in respect of any summary of a declaration and is not satisfied with any aspect thereof, the commissioner shall report the matter, setting out such details and particulars as the commission in its discretion thinks fit, to the prime minister and the leader of the opposition. Who must the commissioner report it to? Shall. That don't mean may. Shall. They have a duty to. Shall. That means that's not an option. If anyone fails to disclose or disclose properly, etc., the commissioner shall report the matter to the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. And then the Prime Minister or either one, the Leader of the Opposition, when a report is made pursuant to subsection 1, may publish by way of communication to the House of Assembly any information furnished to the Commission, cause to be published in the Senate, any information furnished by the Commission, authorize the furnishing of any information furnished to him by the Commission be to the Attorney General and Commissioner of the Police. So the Leader of the Opposition or the Prime Minister can actually make a complaint based on persons who does not disclose and may take action based on that. All right, they may take action, but you never see the Leader of the Opposition doing his job. So if the Leader of the Opposition wanted to make sure that the Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioner of Police and others who receive funds from the government purse outside of his powers as the Public Accounts Committee chairman, he could have them disclose. And if they failed to disclose, then it could be taken further. Do you see? But have you ever seen the Leader of the Opposition do that? No. One of the reasons they are terrified of me being in the House of Assembly is because they know I know the law, they know I know the rules, and I'm not a part of their skullduggery. And so they know there's going to be serious problems if the COI ever gets in the House of Assembly. And we will get into the House of Assembly in this next upcoming election, wherever they call it. All right? So I just wanted you to see that with your own eyes. Thank you for tying Michael Pintard, because he apparently don't know his job. He don't know what to do. And he last time we had this discussion, he said that we want his job. No, Michael, we don't want your job. You don't even want your job. We don't want your job. We're going for president. All right? We're changing the whole game. So we don't even want Brave's job. We're changing the whole thing. We're going Republic. All right. And so I just wanted you all to see that. So the commissioner cannot be trusted because he received money from the government. And so we would be fools to trust this commissioner. Now, I had a interesting conversation with, I decided to call the National Crime Agency because I did not trust the Commissioner of Police. Now, I'll be honest with you. I told them that I was recording the conversation. Of course, they was recording mine too, because anytime you call them, they record the conversation. I told them I was recording the conversation, but I did not. In English law, you have to get permission to broadcast, even though I informed them that I was recording the conversation. So I'll just inform you of what was said, but just so that you see that we make sure we get this here. Just so that you see that we had the conversation with them. Just so you see that we had the conversation with them. This was the call. It's on there? Yeah.
The engineering control is currently.
Oh, Lord. Let me see. Oh, I touched something. Let me, hold on. Let me go inside then. Pull it up. Give me 1 sec. So I turned it over for legal advice to see if it would be okay to publish it. And they told me just give the information because we can record in the Bahamas, but over there you can record, but if you're going to publish it, you have to get permission. All right, so there we go.
The NCA Control Center is currently experiencing unprecedented levels of demand. Your call has been placed in a queue and will be answered as soon as an officer becomes available. However, if your call is not urgent, please email communication@nca.gov.uk and your request will be dealt with as soon as practicable. If your call is an emergency, please dial 999 or 101 for non-urgent crimes. If your call relates to allegations of fraud and cybercrime, please contact Action Fraud on 0300.
So, in other words, they did answer. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in a second. And I had a conversation with the person who answered the call. It was a very interesting conversation. And I basically asked them if the three persons that the Commissioner of Police mentioned are actual agents. And he said, based on information I gave him, he can't verify that those persons are agents and that they don't investigate murder in any event. And so I was taken aback, but I said, no, this isn't necessarily a murder investigation. This is an investigation related to although there was an attempted assassination involved in this, but there was and there is murder as it relates to the witnesses going away. But the investigation seems to be surrounding a voice recording. All right. And so if there's murder involved, they don't investigate that, is what I am told. And so he said he doesn't know about it. And so them not being able to verify the person's names might not be a red flag, because it might be because they're agents and they want to expose agents. I don't understand that, but that could be. I'm just trying to give both sides of the possibilities. But one of the names they said was in charge of this whole area. The first name they called, I think he was John Michael or something. And the problem is the officer in charge of anything doesn't ever do investigations. And so to say that the officer in charge of this area is coming down to do an investigation, that isn't normal in any body, in any organization. Clayton Fernando would never be the person doing the investigation. The officer in charge of DEU would never be doing an investigation, nor would the officer in charge of CID. That's not normal. All right? And so that's kind of weird. But they said they don't investigate stuff involving murder. All right? And so I have that documented. And again, I told him that it was being recorded, and he still said that. And so they told me I told them what happened. So he wanted more information, who I was. I told him that I'm a leader of a political party in the Bahamas. And we were told that the Commissioner of Police in the Bahamas has informed the Bahamian people, or the police forces informed the Bahamian people, that the NCA, the National Crime Agency, will be investigating this matter concerning these videotapes that were released and these murders that seem to be connected to it, to the persons in the videos. And he asked me to put it in writing and send it to them. So he wanted me to put that in writing and send that out to them. That was actually done, and I told him that I would, and I did. All right. I sent out an email to them at their email, and so we're gonna find out exactly what is going on with that. So the National Crime Agency is the agency that deals with investigations that would cross borders. You know, these gang kind of scenarios, other scenarios. I'm going to pull it up for you right now so you can see what it is. And so cross borders, they're able to deal with stuff. So our commissioner of police would, of course, know about this agency because they would deal with the Bahamas if they have any investigation, like money coming through them or any kind of trafficking coming through the Bahamas, etc. They would deal with us. And so they know that that's the people that would deal with that. But they're not Scotland Yard. They have a specific area that they deal with. And why we would need them would be, you know, is very interesting. Now, next, is so crazy. Why wouldn't you go and get Scotland Yard to investigate this? Because there's murders involved, there's voice notes involved, et cetera, But why wouldn't you get Scotland Yard to investigate this? Why the NCA, the National Crime Agency? That makes zero sense. Before I go on to the rest of what I have, and then I'm going to do something. Before I go on to the rest, I'm going to call Maria Dockson, who is our Shadow Minister of National Security, to let her kind of inform you a little bit about some of the concerns, because I was surprised she had some of the same concerns that they had. Some of the concerns of the National Agency as to why they would get involved in this, because they have no jurisdiction to investigate in the Bahamas. Now, they can investigate anything connected to a British citizen, a British company, or anything that's being moved through Britain. And so that gives them jurisdiction. But to say, oh, there's a murder in Jamaica and they want the NCA to come and investigate that, that doesn't happen. And so we're looking forward to seeing these guys and looking forward to seeing what they're told. And the biggest problem that you're going to have is these guys appear to have been invited to look at the file, right? Not investigate. So they still have to trust, and they have to put their name in jeopardy and at risk by trusting that the police in the Bahamas who are being accused would have gotten the right information to give to them. They only have what is in front of them, and that's all that they can go off of. Think about that. They're not investigating. They're not questioning the witnesses. They don't have access to anything other than being able to review the file. And if you listen to the commissioner talk carefully, I'll play it again after we talk to Maria. If you listen to the commissioner talk carefully, you will see that that is what he is saying. Our police is going to put this together and then say, hey, y'all look at these files. What y'all think? That's what's going to happen. That's not a real investigation. That doesn't work. That's nonsense. But it's shameful that we find ourselves in this position. So let's call Maria, and then we'll get back to this National Crime Agency. Okay, here we go. Hey, Maria, how you doing? We are live.
We are live?
Yes, we are.
Oh, my God. Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians.
And so, Maria,
doing?
yeah, awesome. They can't respond back to you. But, Maria, I wanted to ask you about this whole situation. As you know now, I have called the National Crime Agency, and I had an interesting conversation with them. What do you think about the conversation that I had with them? You would have heard the whole conversation, but I can't release it publicly. The conversation, because I didn't get permission to. What do you think about the conversation, and what do you think is the issues here?
Several things. I don't think that the Commissioner of Police and the members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force is being truthful to the Bahamian people for the following reason. I myself have tried to Google these investigators' names, and I could not come up with them at all. One. Secondly, the Commissioner of Police and Wayne Monroe keep saying that these guys were coming in and they was not going to anybody. That's another red flag to me.
Yes.
Why would you hire these foreign investigators to come to the Bahamas and not investigate or go on the ground and speak to potential witnesses? Red flag.
Mm.
Another thing to me is that Mr. Monroe, the Minister of National Security, is saying that they're coming in to review and give advice.
Yes.
What are they going to review? Evidence that was collected by who? Members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force? A red flag. What sort of evidence did the police force collected to give to these persons to review? Why did they tell the Bahamian people that these investigators were coming into this country? Red flag. Because I believe it's fake news. I saw a retired superintendent today, and he said to me, those investigators never came to the Bahamas. So I need the PLP, under the leadership of Philip Brady Davis, and Wayne Monroe and Mr. Fernandez, just tell the Bahamian people whether these investigators came to the Bahamas. That's all. And how long they were here. Tell us, give us a status update. What is the status update now? What findings? But Mr. Bean, that is not original. I've already talked to several persons internationally about this. The voice identification issue and the main issue. The PLP need to tell the Bahamian people who is the virtual complainant. One. In order for them to get a voice identification from Attorney Bashir Ferguson and Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, they must place these men under arrest.
Yes, that's the law.
That's the law. They must place these men under arrest in order to test their voice identification.
To be able to question them under caution for it to be legal.
Bashir Ferguson, Attorney Bashir Ferguson, Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson will never ever walk into CDU or police headquarters and say, test my voice to prove that that was not me on that voice note that was speaking to Michael Fox Jr. Another issue that I want the Bahamian people to take note of is that we don't have no voice identification.
Hold on, before you go on to that, I just want to make something clear so we could understand that. So one of the reasons it would not have made sense for them to come in when they were saying is because if Michael Johnson and Bajon Ferguson were not arrested yet and interviewed and their voice, a sample of their voice being taken, but really arrested and interviewed, so at least you have something from the accused, what is the sense of them coming?
Thank you.
So it would not have made sense. So them saying that they would have been here doesn't make sense, because how could they look at a file where the person wasn't arrested, cautioned, and questioned? So they clearly were BSing.
Yes, but Mr. Fernando knows that when we was in PID working together, you cannot, we couldn't pass a file to Basil Dean or Dougie Hanna where the suspects them were not arrested. What are you giving them? Right? And another BS that they trying to swing the Bahamian people. We don't have a voice identification machine in this country. This is the forensic technicality. We need the machine in this country.
Yeah.
Test your voices from the pitch, right? The same pitch, same tone, even the sound. There is a procedure in collecting identification for voice identification. The first step they should have done was get the virtual complainant. They were supposed to bring in an FBI agent. Let them come here with the machine and test these voices to make sure that that was Bajon Ferguson and Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson on those recordings. They did not do that. So I need, and the Bahamian people need to find out what sort of investigation they put together for these men from London to come here to investigate. I smell a rat. And Mr. Bean, honestly, I believe that they might have consulted these men, but they told them, listen, it don't make no sense in me coming there unless you have or you could properly identify that these voices belong to Bajon Ferguson and Michael Johnson. They will tell them what they have to do first. You must place them under arrest.
Yes.
You must test their voices. You must have accurate testing to prove that that was Bajon Ferguson and Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson voices on that recording.
Yes.
That's what they should have done. But nobody never ever heard that these men were placed under arrest by members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
They were, we would have known.
Thank you.
So that's ridiculous. So it's almost like they're trying to make this go away somehow. They just have their head in the sands and they're just hoping that everyone just forgets about it if some other scandal comes up. But it seems like they're doing nothing on this. And how do you feel about the fact that they said that they are not going to give any more updates?
I, along with a lot of Bahamians, are displeased with that statement that was made by the Commissioner of Police for several reasons. The Commissioner of Police is paid by the taxpayers. He has a duty at least some comfort to know that we, the Bahamian people, could trust members of the police force. Now, by him saying this, the trust level is going to decrease. Maybe the Bahamian people are not trusting them any longer. But why would you say that? Huh? We need to know men, young men, were killed, murdered in this country. They have parents. They have family members. This is unacceptable in this town. We cannot allow this to continue to happen. We need some answers.
Yeah.
They have a duty of care to the Bahamian people. We need the trust back.
Wow.
This is unacceptable. And from Mr. Commissioner to say this, and mum's the word with Wayne Monroe and mum's the word with the Prime Minister. And Lincoln, what is so sad is that the money that was stolen in this robbery, that's the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
That's the Bank of the Bahamas money again. So the taxpayers have all kind of answers. We need answers.
Wow.
These men are getting paid by the taxpayers. The Commissioner of Police is getting paid by the taxpayers. Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson is getting paid by the taxpayers. It is embarrassing. They are the ones that is bringing disrepute to the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Yeah.
They are the ones who are destroying the reputation, not the Bahamian people who is talking about it.
Yeah.
No, something must be done.
Yeah. And so, yeah, something will be done. All right. And so, you know, I think you have CID experience. A lot of people may not know that, but you worked in CID for many years. And so you know how investigations should be run properly. And, you know, we've seen that a murder with that seems to involve a PLP crony was solved, I mean, in quick time. I mean, in 1 week with pictures and videos circulated on social media, that was solved. And these guys were locked up. I mean, they were locked up from the beginning. And they're just now being charged. And I think it took so long for them to be charged because of, you know, who was allegedly involved. But it's been 2 months since those voice recordings have been released, and they have not even questioned Michael Johnson or Bajan. And it is alleged that both of them have left the country.
I heard the same thing.
2 months.
And
2 months.
that's right.
You mean to tell me, you telling me to trust the police force, but you can't solve something simple like this in 2 months? Man, you could have built a whole house in 2 months from scratch.
I agree.
That's
Even
crazy.
they don't want to solve this. This is a simple case, right? Why go to London? Huh? Why? FBI right there, you just throw a rock over there and say, listen, first step, could you please send us a voice identification specialist? Bring the machine. Easy, you know. Lincoln, let me tell you something. I don't know who Fernanda, those things they talking to. You know how many times we use the FBI investigators for assistance in CDU?
Wow.
I am telling you, I used to work in fraud, and we used to have a lot of fingerprints. We had the handwritten experts. Lincoln, we used to have to go over there, get the handwritten sample, and go over there and take it.
What?
Go over there, Yes, and take it. They have the resources. They know what to do. Mr. Fernando knows just what to do. When we had issues with the guns and trafficking from here, over there, over here, those experts used to come in. They used to come in and they used to be able to examine these firearms. Don't mind them. It's right there. I just thinking about a particular case where three of them came in, where we had these bunch of firearms. They came over with the machine to examine the firearms, which it was proven that the firearms came from the United States of America. So they playing games with the Bahamian people. We want, one, to know who the virtual complainant is. Two, bring in the FBI to do the voice identification. But
And lock up Michael Johnson and Bijan for questioning.
Guarantee you, that's right. None of them. They will not go in.
Wow.
To let nobody do no transfer for them too.
Wow. Wow. So I think it's going to be risky. I think after this live, they're going to try to go and get the National Crime Agency to come and see if they'll come. But I don't see where it would make sense for the National Crime Agency to do that. That's like you are, imagine you're a contractor, someone built a house that was messed it up and you come after them, you get the blame for everything would go wrong. So to come here and only be able to look over files and only could deal with what they give you, because they mightn't give you all the evidence, so that's where the problem comes in. I think that's ridiculous. And so this is a quagmire, a serious quagmire.
Thank you. Two things they need. They need to hear the voices of Michael Johnson and attorney Bijan Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
They need a copy of that recording, and they need a copy of a test, a voice identification test coming from the FBI. They're saying, look here, these are these two men voices on these recordings. That will be concrete evidence. And outside investigators, concrete evidence that this is these two men voices on this recording.
Wow.
Move from there. But what I'm hearing is that they say that somebody did a makeover with their voices. Well, come and tell us who did the makeover. Y'all get the technology. So who did the makeover with your voices?
So
why they didn't report that?
I'm gonna let you stay on the line. I'm gonna call the National Crime Agency live, because like I said, I didn't get permission from them to release the recording, even though I told them I was recording. I got permission. I'm going to now call them and let them know that we are live and ask them the questions and see if they'll be willing to answer. If they don't, then they don't. But if they do, then they do. All right. So I'll let them know that you are also on the line. You're an attorney. Okay, let me call them. That's the last number I called. All right. So I'm calling the National Crime Agency to hear what they have to say. Okay, my screen and then let me brighten that. All right, so we're gonna call them again because we didn't get permission to release it last time. So we'll see what if they'll talk, knowing that we're live.
Right. The MTA Control Centre is currently experiencing unprecedented demand. Your call has been placed in a queue and will be answered as soon as an officer becomes available. However, if your call is not urgent, please email communication.
So they're going to come on after all this talk. It's going to ring.
And your request will be dealt with as soon as practicable. If your call is an emergency, please dial 999 or 101 for non-urgent crime. If your call relates to allegations of fraud and cybercrime, please contact Action Fraud on 0300 123 2040 or alternatively at www.actionfraud.police.uk. If your call relates specifically to fraudulent calls purporting to be from the NCA or HMRC, stating that there has been criminal activity involving your national insurance number, we are aware of this and investigating the matter. There is no need to make a report to us. If your call relates to COVID-19, please visit www.gov.uk/coronavirus or www.nhs.uk.
Good evening, National Crime Agency.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How can we help you?
Awesome. I called for a couple of things. I called to find out if some persons, specific persons, were actually agents of the National Crime Agency, and then after that I'll ask the other question. I wanted first to know if these guys are actual agents. I am actually live. I'm doing a podcast, and I'm actually live. So I want to know if you would be willing to talk to me.
So you're doing a what at the moment?
Live podcast.
I would be limited to what I can tell you while you're
That's fine.
while you're doing a live podcast.
Yes, that's fine. Okay, so I wanted to know if these three persons, the first one is John Michael McKeon. That's the first person.
How am I spelling the surname?
The surname is McKeon.
Okay. And do you have a staff number or
No.
an email address or anything like that?
No, just John Michael McKeon. And
Okay, and what's the second name?
the second name is Andrew John Black.
Okay, and the next name?
The last name, I'll have to spell the last two names in this for you. The last name is
Okay.
Francisco. And Francisco Savaki. Savaki is spelled SAVV. V is in Victor, that is. AKI. And the last name is Kiriaru. KYRIAROU.
Okay. Can I take some details from you, please?
Yes, of course.
Can I take your name?
Yeah, my name is Lincoln Bain. I am a political leader in the Bahamas of a political party.
Okay. And is that where you're calling from now?
Yes.
And how have you come about these three people who are telling you they're officers?
So there's an investigation in the Bahamas where there are some murders that are suspect, and there are some voice notes that appear to be connected to these murders, and it involves a allegation that the head of CDU, Michael Johnson, that he was on the voice notes asking a bribe from one of these fellas who they were accused in another incident, which was a robbery. And after the bribes, alleged bribes, the guys involved were dead, and so they were murdered. So it's a kind of murder, kind of mystery going on here. And so we were told by the
you're saying that
Bahamas.
these officers, so you're saying that these 3 officers.
No, well,
who
one
are saying that they're
officer.
part of the national.
Oh, sorry. So we were told by
So
the. I'll explain right now. We were told by the Bahamas police, because a police officer is involved from CID, that there's no trust from the Bahamian people.
Sorry,
So they.
so can I just clarify a few points?
Yes, go
the
ahead.
officer that you're talking about, the police officer, is he a Bahamian police officer?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so it's a Bahamian police officer who was he investigating a murder, did you say?
No, he was investigating. Well, there was a armed robbery. He wasn't investigating, but he's in charge of CID, which is in charge of investigating investigating serious crime, the criminal investigation department. And he called, or he received a call allegedly from a criminal who was wanted for an armored truck robbery, and there was a conversation allegedly between them, and he could be heard kind of asking for a bribe. He turned him over. He told him to call someone else, and that person was asking for $100,000 payment to make the armed robbery charge go away. And afterwards,
Just so for clarification, who was asking for the bribe? Was it the head of the CID or the person on the call?
It was allegedly the head of the CID, and there was another call with the lawyer of one of the criminals, and the lawyer was saying what the deal was going to be. And so what subsequently happened was, when this came to fruition, the police, the commissioner of police, the police force, said that they were going to bring in the National Crime Agency from the UK to investigate this instead. And he named these 3 persons who would be coming in to partake in this investigation. So we wanted to know if this, because he said that they would come, but then they didn't show up on the date that they said they would come. So everyone is concerned now if these are real persons, one, and if the NCA would investigate murders like this in another country.
Have you already emailed us in about this?
Yes, I emailed you earlier today.
Okay. So I can see the email that you sent in. Where did you get the names from?
We got the names from the police force in the Bahamas. They said that those 3 persons are the NCA agents that would be coming in to assist or to do the investigations.
Okay. And can I ask what your involvement in all of this is?
Well, I'm a political leader, and so because this is a very public matter, everything was as they are saying.
I'm mindful. I'm looking at your email, and it's just a blank email. There's no header. There's nothing that would indicate that this has come from an official source.
Okay. So you want me to send you an email with the Coalition of Independence header on it?
Well, because I'm not Bahamian, so I don't know how your political landscape looks.
Okay, that's fine.
So what we wouldn't want to do is pass information to somebody who maybe isn't part of the correct political landscape. So what we wouldn't want to do is pass sensitive information inappropriately.
That is no problem.
So what I would ask you to do is maybe send something in to the same inbox that you've already sent.
Yes, with a letterhead.
Okay, I can see the email for that. What I can do is I can give you a reference number so they can all be linked together.
Yes.
Would you like to receive that reference number now?
Yes, please.
It's 144.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
It's okay.
The reference number, give me 1 sec. Let me just pull up a
That's okay.
blank. The reference number is 144
2556.
2556. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So where we're at the moment is we're not in a position to confirm or deny whether those individuals are officers from the National Crime Agency.
Yes.
At this moment in time. Depending on what information you're able to send, we can look into it further. We wouldn't necessarily guarantee that we'll be able to give you a response imminently.
Mm-hmm.
It may take us some time. Like I say, we can't confirm or deny whether these officers are officers of the National Crime Agency at this moment in time. We would need to. You haven't given us a name. Just bear with me. Of the officer from
The Bahamas?
the police who would have invited them over. Would you be able to furnish us with those
We
details
don't.
as well?
Right, I'll add that detail, but we don't know who invited them over. But we were told by the Commissioner of Police that they were invited over.
Okay, all right. But if you could pass us those details, I've given you the reference number now. I have picked that up and I will have a look at it. Like I say, I can't guarantee that we will get back to you this evening or this morning because at this moment we're not in a position to confirm or deny
Okay.
who these officers are, if they, in fact they are officers.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, okay, but we have got it. I've given you the reference number now, so anything that you send in, if you put that reference on, we can link them together and we can look into it for you.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get that over to you with the reference number. Well, I'll just add because I initially sent it. Okay, I'll get that over to you, and then we'll bring the Bahamian people up to date.
Yeah, I am. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful, but obviously you've sent it from the Coalition of Independents.
Yes.
But we do have to be mindful that people, because we're not aware of every political landscape,
I understand.
We need to make sure that we're not dealing with somebody who maybe we shouldn't be.
Yes, I understand. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Maria, the first thing I want you to see from that, right? So they told me to put a letterhead. That's fine. But the first, because it was an email, so I didn't put the letterhead. The first thing I want you to see from that, though, Maria, is how professional, they are, and how they're telling you how they can help you and what they can do. You see the difference in the professionalism? Yeah.
I needed to find out. This sound like this is a private agency. This don't sound like a government agency.
No, this is a government agency.
Like
No, it's a government agency.
No. You don't know if they source it out.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
How this woman is, because if this was a government agency, this is a national crime thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
She would have been able to touch that system.
Ah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Trust me. Because you remember what Fernando them keep saying? They keep saying they have reached out to their counterpart.
Yes.
They never said it was a police agency.
That is true.
Remember now, because I think what they're saying, a national crime agency. When you look at agency is different from the police force.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
The London Metropolitan Police Force.
That is true.
They might source that out.
Mm.
And so now, what she has to go and do, she has to go to the government agency and find out whether these men work for some other government agency.
Mm.
They are not showing up. Anytime a police officer is registered over there and they're getting a government salary, they would be showing up on the system. These guys are not showing up. They sound like contractual workers. Sound like consultants.
Oh. And you're mostly getting that from the previous conversation I had, which you heard from the last agent I spoke to, more than what she's
Right.
saying. Because he basically said he can't verify this and they don't investigate murders. But I think with her, knowing that we were live, she had to be careful of what she said. But the previous guy was talking more upfront.
It's a quasi-agency. That's the same thing what's going on here. Right? We have these agencies. You got to know the difference.
Yeah.
Like National Insurance. That's an agency. Even though the government is a quasi, certain things they wouldn't know, so they have to go to the government. After them tricked us, man, I thought they was going to Scotland Yard. They called it an agency. But who would have more of the equipment, more experience? It would have been Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
They got the experience. They got the expertise.
Wow.
And the first, what this woman said, when they came on, they talking about fraud.
Yeah.
I smell a rat, and I smell a big rat, because I've been always trying to Google these guys' name, and one of them is a retired police officer.
Oh,
but
wow.
I wanted to know where he now. Yeah. He was working outside of London.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do in the coming days, we have to investigate this for the Bahamian people. So what we're gonna do in the coming days, we have to track down these guys and literally call them ourselves to find out what is going on, because we're not gonna get the truth from this particular leadership, the Commissioner of Police. Yeah. And I think they're covering this up because it may expose who is connected.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is important. I see someone put a link. I was trying to hurry up, give her the information she needs while we were talking. So I was talking and typing just now, so I could send this back over to them. I see someone put on here a link to something with John McLean. So our investigators from around the world right now, we got 1,719 people on here watching this. So our investigators look like they are doing their own research to see who is who. I saw someone put a link. Let me see what that is. I just can't click on anything on my computer. Yeah, they put some kind of link here. I can't click on it. Yeah, I can't click on it.
And the mere fact that Wade Monroe said something else too. Right, man? All kind of loopholes in their story. When Wade Monroe said that these guys, I'm coming in just to review the file and not to investigate. I picture I say consultants. Consultant. Not investigators. Consultant. Wow. Who is coming to a town to investigate for 3 days? Yeah?
No, that's not a real investigation.
They only come here to go read files. And read the files what they given them. A real investigator, which would have been the FBI, listen to me. Like one of my PLP advisors tell me to tell, when these investigators reach it, set up a hotline. Yeah, witnesses can be contacted. Set up a hotline. But when they're here, you see?
Yes.
And don't let the Bahamian police officers them answer the phone. Let the foreign investigators them answer the phone.
You know,
Just set up a hotline.
I spoke to the mother of Oral, the last one who died, and the last one who was assassinated, I should say. I spoke to his mother, who spoke to the news, and she said, you know, what was so curious is if you want her son for murder, if you not murder, sorry, for armed robbery, etc., you believe he have the money, and you looking for this money. How come they never search her house? He lived with her. She said they never
Oh my
search.
God.
She said they never search her house. So that means this was an outright assassination. You know they ain't really had the money because you're in search. But I can't speak for the others, but you're in search his house, according to her.
Yeah.
So that means you ain't looking for that. You know who have that money. The whole thing was a setup.
Yes. And Nikki, you know what is so sad? Like the mother said, a child went to headquarters a couple of days before he got killed. Right? Who did he speak to in there? What did he say to them? Huh?
Yeah.
Tell me. What did he say to them to cause this man to get killed a couple of days later? Huh? And this is one of the reasons why the people can't trust the police. Your child gone in there, they come and pick him up good. A couple of days later, he's murdered. And the police ain't looking to see who killed him.
Wow.
No, Lincoln, this is unacceptable in this town. We cannot allow this to continue to happen. It has to stop, because if we allow this to happen, that means all kind of young men will be dying on the streets of Nassau.
Wow.
Just go set up the hotline when the investigators them reach it, because you know they know about secrecy. But over here, you go give the police information, huh? You know what? You might be taking it the
Maria,
next week or so.
I know you on the phone with me, right? But I don't know if you have access to still see a screen, what I'm about to put on the screen. So someone who's on the live put up something about John McKeon. And so I'm going to share my screen now so persons can see this. Let me see if we can see this window. Hold on. John McKeon. Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen now. And now people could have the same name. John and Michael are two common names. So I don't know if this is the person. But I guess Justin being curious and investigating, they are showing this look like he's a teacher. No, you have something. livingmindfully.ie. Mindfulness training. I don't know what this is. So people could have the same name, but that's what someone pulled up. So I just wanted to put that there as people doing their little investigations. We gotta investigate this as a Bahamian people, because the commissioner said they ain't telling us nothing. We on our own with this, and that's that.
Yeah.
So we gotta keep this before the Bahamian people, and we have to come and bring the updates and let them know what's going on. Some says John McKeon is the best in the field. I don't know what else they're saying. Miranda Barrows says that. Some says that's not him. Yeah, I agree that can't be him. That's not him. The person says, okay, yeah, I agree with that. All right.
We have a lot of Bahamian students. We have a lot of Bahamian students living in London now, and we have some friends in London. They need to help us with these 3 names.
Well,
we need to type those names out and send them to me, and we need to try to send them to our contacts. Let me send it to my contacts so we can put up these guys.
Well, that's where both of us went to law school. So of course, we'll have a lot of connections there. So we're going to check that out and see exactly. So why do people can't sign a petition? So what I'm going to do, let me add some other things I wanted to touch on with BC and all that. But let me open the phone lines and let people get in here and be able to talk and be a part.
Their opinion.
Yeah, and be a part of this. So to do that, I'm gonna have to disconnect you. But if
No
you
problem.
see anything you want to answer, you could always just call back in. If someone asks something that you don't want to answer, et cetera, et cetera. But was this this serious kind of corruption while you were an officer at CID?
No. This is the worst of the worst.
Wow.
No.
Okay. So the commissioner want to keep secrets and no one talk to us, so we'll investigate ourselves. Let's get it started.
Yes, we'll do that, sir.
You know what that mean, though? That mean you under threat of death. If they know you're investigating that, they're gonna try to pull something on us or try to frame us with something. They might find some drugs in your car, Maria. You know?
Oh my
Or they
God.
might find some bullets or something. You know how they go.
Oh yeah, or they might blow up my Jeep again like how they did the last time underneath the PLP watch.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what we signed up for. So we just got to be ready for it. We're going to be, we got to take the bullets with Bahamian people.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. So again, the second person we talked to wasn't as forthcoming as we told her that we were actually doing a live. I told her it's a podcast, a live. I said that so she could understand exactly what it was. And so she wasn't as forthcoming as the first person we spoke to, who basically said that they don't investigate murders. And if you look on their website, they don't. So he is correct with that. And so the phone lines are open. It's 803-5995, 803-5995. Okay, I think I got this on silent. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, phone is ringing. 803-5995 is the number. Oh my God, trying to get you in here. Sorry about that. Everything was locked up. Sorry, you can call right back. Caller who was trying to call in. 803-5995 is the number. Call in. What do you think about all this? 803-5995. Good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, Lincoln. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you for taking my call. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Lincoln, I want to thank you for staying on top of this matter because there's so much more here. I'm looking at this issue myself and peeling the onion. I wonder, in what world is an armored truck loaded with $1.4 million cash left alone unattended? And in what world do small-time criminals know what is in the armored truck, where it is, and exactly what time it's going to be unattended in order to pull off this heist?
That was a setup with big officials involved, and we can see that is why they are stalling on this investigation. We think that was a setup. And so if 1.4 million was stolen, that would have been insured money. That money would have been insured. And so now you get almost $3 million because you still have the 1.4 because you took it. And now you get the insurance of the 1.4 back. And so that's $3 million you just swipe just like that. So I think that this whole thing is planned. I don't know who owned it. I'm not saying that they were a part of this in any way. Who owned the money? I'm not saying that they're part of it. I don't know. But I'm saying we need to do a proper investigation because all of these are possibilities.
Absolutely. A real in-depth investigation would reveal how this information, how the criminals came by this information. There may be an entire network of communications in and outside of the system that we are unaware of. And so I think another real story here is how did these criminals come in by this information? Because they seem to have had all the pertinent information to make this heist possible. Thank you for taking my call.
All right. Thank you. Thank you also. So before I go to the next caller, while everyone is on here, I just want to let you know that that we'll be having free haircuts for persons in the Pinewood constituency. And of course, we're not going to be asking you for your bonus card, all right? So, but it's so if you come, you come. But we're having free haircuts for the persons in the Pinewood constituency on Saturday. Let me make sure I get the dates right. So that's the day before school opens back. So it's going to be on Saturday the 31st. Saturday the 31st. We're gonna have free haircuts, so we're gonna be able to cut a couple hundred hairs on that day. So just come on down, and your haircut is free. And you can go to Darren Barbershop. And so if you're in Pinewood, you know where that is. That's on the corner of Avocado Street and Bay Geranium Avenue. Avocado Street and Bay Geranium Avenue. And so right on that corner there is Darren's Barbershop. And so we will, for back to school persons, students only, we will be giving you your free haircuts. And so, yeah, we're not having the big thing on the park where we give out the books and have people line up and take pictures of them, like the PLP is doing, keeping us as beggars. But we're going to help where we can. And so our money is, constituency money is paying for you to get your books and bags and all that they're going to have in the park. And so it's not going to cover this. So we're going to make sure that on that day you can come in. We'll see if it's open on Sunday. I doubt it's open on Sunday, but for now it's going to be on Saturday, the 31st. You can come and get your free haircut. All right, that's for school kids only. So that's school kids. All right. So that's at Darren Barbershop. We're going to make sure that you get straight. So come down and make sure you get yours. So spread the news. I'll share the proper flyer on our social media. Go to the next caller. Good afternoon, caller. You're live.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfectly.
All right, good. Good afternoon. Good job to you and Mrs. Doxson.
Thank you, man.
I don't know if you guys already know, but you already cracked the case.
Wow.
Let me tell you how you already cracked the case. By listening to you and Miss Maria Doxson speaking, you give us the actual form of investigation. In order to do an investigation, for you to further investigate, you first have to arrest the people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make up a file. If
Yes.
smart people was listening, they would have followed.
Yes.
You have to make up a file. All right? After making up a file, after arresting these guys and making up a file, then the file moves on to another jurisdiction. When I say another jurisdiction, it moves on to, like you guys say, with voice recording, this and that. A file was never made up. So
There was
when they
no
come
arrest,
here,
yeah.
So when they come here, what are they looking at? Make it make sense to me, please. When they come here, what file are they looking at, my friend? They was never arrested. And why is the bar of the Bahamas not saying anything about Bijan? Because all of them are corrupt. Mr. Bain, make it make sense to me, man. You already know what's going on, but you probably want us to say.
Yeah.
You know what we see? We see that all of them are in on this. And if they open up the door, they have to open up the door wide, and you would see all the players in the game.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you for your call, man. I appreciate that. And so that's what it is. I want you to listen to this. Someone says an empty file folder. That's all they're going to be listening to. I'm going to play this interview again until the next person calls in, and we're going to analyze this for you. I'm hearing that Bannister was just fired. Okay, let's get his call first. Good afternoon. You're live. You're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain.
Good afternoon, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah. All right. Thanks for taking the call. Listen, all I want to say is that when you look at this case, you have Michael Johnson and Bijan Ferguson out of town. You have the Commissioner of Police out on the both roads. You have the Prime Minister in Dominican Republic. You have all of them are out of town when you have high officials supposed to be from the UK coming in town. Just like Maria, I smell a big rat. And that. Thank you, Mr. Bain, for taking my call, and have a nice day.
Thank you too. Appreciate that. So someone put a link up there to where an analyst was jailed. I looked at that earlier today. But what we need to do is make sure that the persons are currently working, and then we need to know not if they're retired or if they used to work there. We need to know what their position is now at this particular point, not 2022, 2021, 2020. We need to know what their position is now, and we need to know what their involvement is. All right. So that's where we are with that. Let's look back at this video.
Release was issued today explaining that there will be no more public statements on the voice notes investigation. Before the statement was issued on July 8th, 2024, Police Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippins confirmed to media that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will remain transparent and will keep the public in the loop.
Who just spoke a while ago, and you and Maria Jackson, an excellent job educating the Bahamian people who don't have an idea of what investigation is all about and how it ought to be taking place. Mr. Bain, there's something called a cover-up. What is a cover-up? Now, when we look at a cover-up is an attempt, whether successful or not, to conceal evidence of wrongdoing.
Yes.
Okay? Or other embarrassing information. Now, what, as I know, because, I work around criminals all my life. When we look, what is a cover-up in law? Concealment of wrongdoing, especially through deception, withholding of information, and destruction of evidence, often accompanied by a refusal to operate with the investigators. This sounds to me like, Mr. Bain, when the COI gets into power, because it would not happen in this government, through the cover-up, that means the Commissioner of Police must be charged. Because why? If he conceal evidence, and it becomes a cover-up, and a cover-up is worse than the crime that is committed. And so we need to understand when it's a cover-up. A cover-up happens when you're doing your investigation, and it leads you on a certain path. And then you reach that path, you find some stuff there, rotten apples.
Right.
And then leads you to another path, and you say, when it reaches that one, the point, that investigation where it leads you, and it leads you to a person who is a top-notch person. Now they cannot reveal that, so it becomes a cover-up. And where that leads, it leads to another hierarchy. And you say, wow, that becomes a cover-up. And you will never get the truth. So what we're looking at is a cover-up. And the only way we can get an answer to what is happening through the corruption on the police force and through the corrupt PLP and their leader. And when I listened to, because when I was on Steve the other day, when I listened that Wayne Monroe said he has distanced himself. He is supposed to be the chief investigator. He distanced himself. And we know we talk about smelling a rat. We smell a triple rat.
Yes.
So my brother, we, the civilians, the people is the government. And so the people have to do their own investigation. The government, that we have the power, we do our investigation of what you are doing, and we will get the evidence. But now is when the COI gets into power, and I believe they will get into power, that Fernando will have to give an account, because when the evidence is revealed, we find out it was a cover-up, then that's where he comes involved to be arrested. So I'm saying to you, my brother, continue And we the people is the government, so we can do our own investigation as you are doing your investigation. And guess what? The people's power is greater than the power of those who we put in power sitting in the seat of authority.
Yes.
Maria and yourself and others, we're going to get, and the Bahamian people will get the answer that they're looking for. This will never go away until it's been solved. This will never go away. The only thing they can do is continue to cover up. God bless you, my brother.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. So we have an announcement here. We have an announcement here from the and then we're gonna read these voice notes that went out about this other murder. I'm gonna actually read them. I can't show you all of them because they come with some gory details on them, and so I can't show them. I'm not gonna show that on this live. But I'm going to read them to show you how dumb these criminals are. And I mean, this is beyond nonsensical to think that criminals could be this dumb to put this much evidence out there, and that a public official could be so dumb as to hire these little jokey fellas. Listen, you get someone murdered for lunch money in this current Bahamas, for lunch money. I mean, you give them something to eat and they will murder someone for you. And that's how bad this country has gone. All right. So let me just share my screen quickly. I was going to go back to that video again, but let me just share my screen quickly. And Jesus. This is the Office of the Prime Minister website, opm.gov.bs. Statement from the Office of the Prime Minister on the termination of Mario Bannister, managing director of Clifton Heritage. This title is longer than the statement. Here's the statement. Bang. That's it. All of it. This afternoon, Prime Minister Davis directed the immediate termination of Mario Bannister from his position as managing director of Clifton Heritage. This man been locked up from last week. Everyone in the country saw what was going around, and you wait until the evening before he could possibly be charged with an alleged murder before you terminate him, as if y'all was trying to work something out. You know, where we could keep this undercover. Oh, we got too much scandals, man. We can't know. He got this one. Gotta go. This is the full statement. This afternoon, Prime Minister Davis directed the immediate termination of Mr. Mario Bannister from his position as managing director of Clifton Heritage. So, no termination in North Abacoa. None there? No? No? Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these texts with this murder that was solved in just a matter of days. Just a matter of days. Okay, let's get that on there for you. Yeah, this murder happened, I mean, in a matter of days. This murder, I mean, was it. In a matter of days, they solved an entire murder, and they couldn't solve. Let me make sure. Okay, let's make sure everything is edited what we're looking at here. So this right here is the text that was sent between two persons allegedly involved in this murder. So we're gonna go to them right now. I'll show you how crazy this is. Good afternoon, you're live.
what's up, Lincoln? How you doing?
I'm awesome, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The latest murder that happened in Fox Hill, I know him.
Okay.
And they murdered him because he knew information. He had no money. They gave him no money. That's why they told him they don't talk to no other police. And they have to get rid of him quickly because he's a talker. He's one of those that are like a boast. Oh, I be around this one, I be around that one. You know, and then the other guy from Burnett Road who got shot in the car, they were pretty close. And what happened is they going after who else to talk to. So when they got him inside that room, they pressed him to figure out who he went to. And after they found out, and when he came home, he explained to, you know, a few family members that, hey, they wanted me to keep quiet, but I didn't tell them I ain't got the money. But he ghosted. So ghosting is what caused him to get killed. They needed him to not give that information out about the corruption of the police. That's why they said, don't talk to no police. If they see you, how the police could tell a criminal, or not a criminal, forgive me, somebody who's being investigated, if the police call catch you, not to stop. That's an automatic assassin. Because if they coming after you, or the police coming up to stop you, so he can run.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I wrote down just a very short thing that Spirit told me to read to you. This is information to you and also to the people. All right, because I just wrote it down and then you announced this live. All right, so it says, I need you to listen good now. Oh, my son. Oh, son of my wounds. Oh, son of my vows. Do not waste your strength on women or on those two ruined kings. It's not for kings, O Lama, to gather wine. Rulers should not crave alcohol, for if they drink, they may forget the law and not give justice to the oppressed. Alcohol is for the dying, and wine is for those who bear distress. Let them drink to forget their poverty and remember their troubles no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and helpless and see that they get justice. What that is saying basically is, for the past 50 years, we have leaders that party, drink, and, you know, allegedly, you know, got those sweethearts and stuff like that. And we know this. We see this every day on Fresh Fry. Who they be? Who be there? The politicians. They be drinking. They be getting the gun solid, whatever it may be. But we see these things going on, but we still vote them in and want this place to be a Christian nation when we don't have Christian roused leadership. And that is our biggest mistake right there. And the crazy thing, Mr. Monroe, he was out Fish Fry about a week ago, and I was out there, you know, and a friend of mine said, oh, you know, so-and-so, you know, he beat his case, you know, but he's still scared. He you know, he got to carry 2 guns on him. Like, and this is a young guy. Like, what? But the person who in charge of the whole police forces right now in the road, but he's kind of the Fish Fry, been drawn himself because he's afraid of the police and whatever else going on. Now, how am I supposed to go to the police and say, hey, somebody coming out here? What if he know that criminal and then he go to him? He said, listen, this guy right here, he know you got this and this and that. We got to get rid of him. So now, how are we supposed to trust the police? Anything now that we see, we can't talk, to be honest with you, because we don't know who in cahoots with who at this point. And I rest my case right there.
All right. Thank you. That's a serious issue. You don't know who is connected to who. Again, I don't think that the majority of police are corrupt. I think it's just the leadership that is corrupt. I'm not saying that there's no one else in there that's corrupt. There is corruption in every organization. But I think that the problem is from the head. The corruption starts from the head. We have seen and experienced corruption from this particular leadership of the police force, and it is terrible, and we need to change. So let's go to this document here. This has been circulating around, and the police actually put out a statement saying that they're going to investigate to see who put this out. I mean, yeah, that's the important thing. Who put it out? So this person was texting to someone else whose phone number appears there. Allegedly, all this is alleged. It has question mark, question mark, question mark. And it says, yo, the job completed. He dead. Me and Ronaldo threw him in the water just now. The internet was bad, but I was trying to show you me and Ronaldo. Couldn't let tall boy who driven pick up what's going on because he has an ankle bracelet. These guys literally went to do a murder with an ankle bracelet on. With a fella who has an ankle bracelet on. I mean, how dumb can you be? Anyway, and he would freak out if he catch on what's really going on. We have him believing we go in the bush to check up on something we have stashed out. So we had to carry Philip in the bush to kill him. So he could see then, so he couldn't see, then show him he dealing up with something for us. We will spin back for him. So he lost. But that's why me and Ronaldo spin back tonight so we could move his body out the bush and put it in the waters in case, so even if he get fined and tall boy here about a nigger getting fined in the waters, he wouldn't pick up it's him because it wouldn't be in no bush. And the person responded, y'all never send me the picture of him dead though. How I sure he dead? Y'all tell me he done dead and you have the pictures, but you ain't send me them. You ain't send them to me yet. Wow. This in our little country. This is a casual conversation they're having about killing a whole human being. The rest of them have the body in it, like the screenshot of the videos of the body with blood everywhere. So I can't put it on the screen. So I'll just read them. It says, to the top, it says, me, I know that boy, and that is your boy. So you know I ain't lie. I don't know what he's talking about with that. That's what the connected person said. So the killer said, LOL, yes, he's straight, man. That's my boy. But if he catch on to what's going on me and Naldo would dust him set way. In other words, if the fellow who drove them there catch on, they could just kill him. Wow. Say, we got you, man. I supposed to go NIB on Thursday, 26th of this month, and that's later this morning. Might need you to give me a ride when you headed out to Clifton. Wow. It's just, these fellas murdering don't even have no car. You see this? And say, give him a ride when he headed out to Clifton. We soon by you. I will send you the video now of how me and Naldo cut him. Someone send me the videos. Someone send me the videos. I literally thought that was one of those videos that you saw with Haiti and what's going on there with the brutality. Like, people don't kill like that. I was shocked. It's like this, like those Haiti kind of killings that you see, those vicious kind of Jesus. So they sent a video and said, "This me looking at him, LOL. I was calling him sleepy." Like this joke. I breaking up his head for him. Have to make sure he lifeless. It's a text. They sent a video of them smashing his head with a wood. And another one, make sure I delete this one because my face catching this one. My face get catching this one. So those were all over social media everywhere. And so I read it, not to sway the case one way or another, but to show what's being reported on social media. We don't know who's guilty or who's not guilty, who did and who didn't do. I'm not interested in that. And we don't want you to come to any conclusion based on what is being passed on social media and what I just showed and read. But this is the reality in our country. Now, our country is lost. You know, before the election, I did a voice, so I did a live, and I told everyone what was going to happen as it relates to crime. I did a video and I said that, you know, I am disheartened at the deals that was being made with these criminals. They're like, oh, are you attacking? How you attacking? I'm brave like that and this and that. I said, deals are being made. Now you're seeing it. I told everyone before the election. I told everyone about the immigration crisis that was going to happen. Immediately after the election, you saw it happening. Immediately after election. Jesus. Immediately. Our country is in a state where it has gone back 50 years, except crime is not like it was 50 years ago. It is extreme because we continue to let the politicians sway us back and forth and swing us into voting for them while they are reaping the fat of the land and while we are being destroyed. Our young men are being killed on a daily basis now, basically. Our young people are being replaced and sent out of this country because they are overqualified if you educate them. And if you want to educate them, there's nothing here for them. And so those ones are leaving to be labor, cheap labor in other countries. And the educated ones are leaving to help build other countries. We need change, Bahamas. We need change seriously and desperately. Come on, Bahamas, stand up. Can't you see that everything is going wrong? Can't you see? Can't you see? Let's stand up and let's make a change together. Let's stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to watch Changes Here every Friday on Dove if you're in the Grand Bahama area, every 10 o'clock. And there's also a giveaway going on. I don't have the flyer for it, but there's also a giveaway, a give back going on. So go on to our or the Daniel Mitchell's Facebook page. You should see something there. So he's in Grandmama. So go and look and see there's a give back going on. And again, like I said to you, we're going to have a back to school haircuts for school students. Darren Barbershop. There's about 5 barbers in there, at least 5 or 6 barbers in there. So there's a lot of room. And so we're going to have a back to school. So while time and supplies last, you're going to come and get your haircut and be shape up and sharp for school. So we're going to cover that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this country is in a serious state. If we don't wake up, we lost. We're lost. If we don't wake up, we lost. And so condolences to all of the persons who've lost a loved one. recently. I just went to the funeral in Pinewood of a gentleman we call Tippy. I've known him for a very, very long time, a close family friend who lives in Pinewood. And so he's called Hillary Bain, but we call him Tips or Tippy. And so we got to visit his funeral. We had another funeral in Mangrove Key, the Green family lost. So we want to again say our condolences to Ms. Dillis and Jacinta, etc., on your loss and the burial of your mother. I really wanted to be there, but I had funerals in several places, so I couldn't stress myself. So we had to just send someone to represent and send flowers to represent for you. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in, for being a part of this. We got to save this country. So you know what happens this week? Every time you expose the PLP like this, you know what happens. They start to attack me. They're going to make up all kind of stories. Please don't listen to these stories and share these stories, these lies and all this foolishness. Let's just stay focused on saving this country and doing what we have to do. Anytime we expose them or anytime we have like a protest or something coming up, you'll see them making up all kind of stories trying to distract people. And so that's what they do. They're going to try to find some way to get us off of this. We don't want Lincoln them investigating this. We got to get rid of them, because we could see this a killing crew. This a killing crew. Fiddling them at their ways, they victimize you to death. But this a killing crew. This a different kind of criminality we have in governance in this country, and y'all better wake up. This a killing crew. Wake up. Wake up. That's all I could say. Wake up. The promised land is upon us, and we will make it there together. It's upon us. We will make it there if you stand up. So again, as always, like I always say, remember to support the movement. Here are the links. And so that's the GoFundMe link. It's on all your platforms. And that's the other link. And so we need you to help to fund the movement. I'll take this one last call, and then that's it. We'll end there. So there's one last call. Good evening, you're live.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Baines.
Good evening, go ahead.
Yes, this is Jeffrey Clark calling. You know, I'm pro-Bohemian and I love my country and all that stuff, but I seen something online with what I saw, I guess some Haitian people, I don't know, they was out to sea or whatever the situation is, and they was begging for help. You know, my heart still goes out to those people. I have nothing against Haitian people. I just feel as if somehow they need help in their country. Yes, we can help, but we can't overextend our help by overcrowding our country. So, however we can help them in their country, that'd be great. But, you know, my heart still goes out to the people that I saw out there in the water, and just to let the people know that I'm not anti-Haitian or nothing like that. I'm just, you know, but my heart goes out to each and every one of y'all. But that's all I really have to say, Mr. Baines.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also not anti-Haitian or anti-any foreigner, but I believe that the Bahamas should be Bahamians first, and that we have to protect ourselves so that we can have to help others. And right now we're being swamped, and the criminal politicians are making money from this. So that's why it continues. All right. So I'll leave that right there for now. So expect in the coming weeks some attacks against us, but expect that we will stand strong and we will continue to fight for the Bahamian people. All right. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. I want you to know that I'm doing this not for promotion, but because I love my Bahamian people and I love my country. I'm a proud, unapologetic, raw Bahamian. I wanted to talk a little bit about natural resources today. I'm going to do a live, probably, I don't know if we'll have the good internet on Tuesday, but I'm going to do a live with somebody this week because a lot of people didn't watch me on The Guardian. They didn't see The Guardian show. apparently a lot of people don't have a radio. I'm surprised how much people don't have a radio. So these talk shows, they don't have the kind of listenership that they think. Most people don't have radio in their homes, and they only listen to radio in the car. So a lot of people miss me on Guardian Radio. So I'm going to replay that for you at some point this week. I'll just put a notification out so you know it's coming out. All right. So, but thank you so much. We're going to start our think tanks again with Vision 2025 as soon as September rolls around and everyone is on vacation. And so you're going to see Vision 2025. So I'm just going to leave you with a couple of videos to remind you of where we are and where we could be. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that I love you. And I'm doing this because I love my country. All right. See you next time.
Safety, you are safe because you will be engaging the tools that make yourself safe.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point.
We are the government of the day, and we will lead as we see fit. It is what it is.
In a jokey town, a three-ring circus, what a bunch of...
What happened in Dubai with the citizens?
Monarchy, and monarchy take care of their people and make sure that they're paid $2,000 per family, maybe $3,000, and life is cheaper there. Life is cheaper, but all the Dubai citizens are paid, very paid.
From who?
From the monarch, from the king.
From the king?
Yeah, from the king.
Wow.
Money comes in through the government. The government distributes the money to the people. And there are no poor people. They're like only
Dubai,
poor people in
you
Dubai
cannot be
are
poor.
those that came
No
from
poor
another
in
country.
Dubai.
No poor in Dubai.
Just like Kuwait, they get money, like almost like American Indian the casinos. The money goes out to the people, okay? And the only poor people in Dubai or Kuwait are those who come from other countries to work for the citizens that are there.
Wow.
And in Israel, if you're a citizen, you get a lot of $10,000 and $50,000, but you have to wait per person.
Wow. Bahamas. It's happening around the world. In the Bahamas, we are a rich nation.
We are a rich nation.
And the
beautiful
Bahamas
nation.
government refused to give us money. Change is coming
change.
to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
It's coalition time.
I wish all the best for Bahamas to be rich people. That's it.
Thank you.
To be the rich people in the world. That's what people think. We're rich people in the world.
Wow. What happened in
a lot of
Dubai
people
with the citizens?
wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous, and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two. He needs only number one. He says, I don't know. There's no
I don't know
number two
how
in my book. Only number one.
You did this in 50 years. You look at history.
who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care. Look at your road system. Look at your highway system. Look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money